The sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Bulldog Sports Page brought to you by the Magic Watch Party. Thursday night, Tom's Watch Bar. Taco Bob will be your host.
That's right, Magic Watch Party. I'm out there 7 to 9. They have delicious food at a Tom's Watch Bar. Actually, Bulldog's been there. He knows, right?
It is an awesome sports bar, 150 TVs, great food, and the Magic need to win, by the way, on Thursday night.
Yeah, taking on the Hawks, I believe, and we're going to have great prizes, too, so join me, Tom's Watch Bar. I drive starting at 7 this Thursday.
Hey, Bulldog, after you experienced some of the food at Tom's Watch Bar, what did you say?
I said, how was that good?
That's what we thought. Hey, can I ask you a question? I meant to ask you this yesterday. We just didn't have time with all the talk about the 500 and whatnot. Will Harris, the former Gator defensive backs coach who has now ended up in Coral Gables with Miami. Mm-hmm. I'm reading and seeing two different accounts of what went on or didn't go. What are you hearing? Was he forced out or did he just go?
I'd heard that Miami made him an offer and he's taking a bunch of players with him.
Because his post that he made to Gator Nation kind of sounded like he was forced out.
I'm going to have to go back and I talked to a couple of Gator people, and they were under the impression that Will Harris, that Mario Cristobal knew that he had some players that would come with him, so offered him a job to come down there, and he's going to take players with him.
You see, he's a good recruiter. In addition to all right,
yeah. So that's what I heard. But by the way, speaking of South Florida, what about this story that came out a couple of days ago? Remember Bullygate down in South Florida? Jonathan Martin, the offensive lineman, Richie Incognito.
Oh my God,
with the Dolphins.
How many years ago was that?
That was in 2013. Quite the scandal. There was an NFL investigation. Richie Incognito, the offensive line coach of the Dolphins, the trainer of the Dolphins, gets fired, essentially. Jonathan Martin came out. ESPN said the whole thing was made up. Quote, I never believed for a second I was being bullied. It's a story that I've been trying to fix for 10 years.
What?
For 10 years.
He says ESPN made it all up?
No. What? He's saying that his mom essentially, because Jonathan Martin was failing. He was failing as an offensive line with the Dolphins and wanted to quit because he wasn't very good and he was having some mental health issues. His mom sort of made up this story that he was being bullied.
Wow.
Mommy,
quote,
I'm being bullied.
Let's see. I had a situation with my teammates that I wasn't super happy about, but my mother had her own read on the situation. I hadn't even told my coaches. I hadn't told anyone, and suddenly it's on ESPN. I didn't believe any of the stances I was taking, that I was a victim.
So she just indiscriminately picked, at the time, the biggest meathead, hothead on the team, and Richie Incognito.
He fit the narrative. He fit the narrative. In fact, Richie Incognito came out on social media and said, quote, Jonathan Martin couldn't cut it in the NFL, so he quit, and his mom blamed me.
Wow.
They lied to protect his money. He wanted to protect his signing bonus.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? All of the people who lost their jobs. It's
a shame.
Tragic, really.
Yeah.
It's tragic. People's careers were ruined because of this.
And these are people that trained and played sports and their entire life leading up to this. All the time that an athlete puts into the game, and that happens.
And because you suck at whatever you may suck at, that's nobody's fault other than yours.
Right. And that's essentially what he's saying 10 years later or whatever. But man, he perpetuated this as well. It's not like he was it's just my mom making stuff up. He could have said this years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, unbelievable. By the way, we were talking about the NBA All-Star, the new NBA All-Star game format yesterday, where they had, they picked teams. They had 4 different teams. It is being absolutely barbecued by the national media. In fact, even players in the NBA are criticizing Draymond Green, of course. Draymond Green came out and said it was ridiculous. He was asked to rate the format on a scale of 1 to 10. You know what he said?
What did he say?
0.
0. 0. Yeah. And Draymond Green came out and said the NBA game has become boring. I don't know that he should be saying this, being a player in the league. I mean, it is how he makes, millions and millions of dollars. I don't know if he should be ripping his own league, but he's come out and said it. A lot of former NBA stars like Oscar Robertson are essentially telling Draymond Green to shut up. But hey, it is what it is.
Isn't he just saying the NBA All-Star game is a joke?
No.
He's saying NBA.
He said the NBA All-Star game is a joke, but he also said the NBA game in general. There's been a lot of criticism of the NBA and how they play, and it's become a 3-point shooting contest. That's what he said. That has become boring as well, just the way they play the game.
He's got a good point.
Yeah, I know he does, but again, it would be like us saying, "Hey, man, this radio station sucks." I mean, why would you come out and say something like that?
Yeah.
So,
right.
your own business.
Bulldog, so the U.S. lost last night 2-1 to Sweden in the Four Nations phase. Did not matter. They rested most of their starters. But nonetheless, it looms on Thursday night at TD Garden in Boston. Round 2.
That's when the rematch is?
U.S.-Canada for the championship. How nasty will it get?
I'm going to give Lynch a little credit here. We were sort of making fun of him.
This is a huge deal, dude.
Yeah, it's become huge. This whole Four Nations tournament. We were making fun of him, Taco, because of his hockey fixation. But hey, he was on this. So congratulations, Lynch. You were ahead of the game on this one.
Not really, just in step, brother. With the people
and filling holes with hockey. The all those Bostonians cheering on fights. I can see it now.
U.S. has got to win Thursday night. They've got to, man.
Where's it? It's in Boston.
Yeah, it's in Boston. So, and
will they boo the national anthem?
I'm gonna be curious to see how the U.S. fans treat the Canadian anthem. I'm hoping they stand up and show class, but
No, you're not.
We'll see. All right, Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
You want him to be classy.
Hope and Mike on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game. A much more classy show than this show could ever aspire to be, but we thank you nonetheless for joining us for the sports page during the Lynch and Taco show each morning, doggy.
JRR. WJRR.
Orlando's rock station.